Hello everyone! So this week's video is going to be another speed drawing because I've had some art block for the past couple of weeks. I think it's mostly because of how busy I've been. I haven't really had a lot of time to think about writing or art. So one of the best ways I have found to cure art block, especially when you're really busy, is to just start experimenting with different things, because sitting down to work on a difficult or a time-consuming project when you're already feeling uninspired is one of the worst feelings in the world. For me, trying new art materials or techniques takes the pressure off, because if my results don't turn out well, then I can just claim that it was because it was my first time, and I don't have anything to compare them to anyway. Last week, I was spending a lot of time working with watercolors, and I was trying a looser sort of style as opposed to the paintings I usually do, which are intended to be backgrounds for scenes, um, and therefore they have to look somewhat balanced and correct. Really, the only art that I ever use a ruler on are my backgrounds. But anyway, this week I decided to try something that I've never really done before, drawing realistic or at least semi-realistic portraits of my characters. This is actually pretty hard for me because I don't see my characters in my head as real people. I see them as cartoon characters in the same cartoon style I usually draw in. When I picture stories in my head, I see them as little animated movies. I know that some people spend a lot of time trying to find a drawing style, but I've never even given much thought to that because I just draw what's in my head, and that's my style. I actually went around asking my family the other day how they picture things to see if anyone else did the same thing, but they all said that they see things more or less realistically. So, am I crazy, or do other people do that too? The funny thing is that when I was younger, I did not like any animated movies that had people in them. Um, I've never been much of a TV or movie person anyway, but when I was younger, I didn't want to watch any of the Disney movies that other kids my age liked. Now I like animation, but I tend to watch it more critically. I joke that if your life is boring, just learn as much as you can about any random thing, because then whenever you encounter that thing in your life, you will see it in a completely different light. Since I started learning about animation, I can't stop myself from trying to analyze and deconstruct any animation that I see. I don't mind though, and I guess that's how you learn about things. Anyway, that was a very long-winded way of saying that this exercise was actually pretty difficult for me, because it forced me to think about my characters as real people as opposed to 2D cartoon characters. Altogether, though, I don't think that the result is terrible, but realism is not something that I practice much, so the pictures are definitely not perfect. They look more realistic than my regular style, but I would call them semi-realism as opposed to actual realism, since the proportions are still a bit off. Seeing these drawings also makes me wonder how I would feel if a story I wrote was made into a live-action movie. I don't know if I like the idea of a person playing one of my characters, since I have my character's appearances so specific in my mind. I do like how I was able to add some details that I either don't add to the cartoon drawings or that I don't feel really come across in my normal style, like the shading on Arsenic Skin, or the fact that Stephmont's eyebrows are not actually there, they're painted on. Apparently she doesn't ever take her eyebrow makeup off though, because, well, I have trouble figuring out how to show emotions without eyebrows. I also showed Moswin's freckles, which never show up when I draw her in my normal style. I think that they're alluded to in one scene I've written, but I feel like when they're drawn in a cartoon way, they kind of detract from her design, and they make her look almost too cute. I know that realistically she would probably be sunburned all the time. And in case anyone was wondering, this is the only time that I will ever draw every single bead on anyone's broad collar. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you want to see me draw portraits of my other OCs, or maybe even someone else's OCs, let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Bye!